How can a phone that scratches easily, barely innovates with AI, and charges over $1,000 still be one of the most popular devices of the year? That's the strange paradox of the iPhone 17 Pro, arguably the most overhyped phone of 2025, and yet one of its best sellers. The iPhone 17 Pro is a perfect example of how Apple can release a phone that's both dumb and delicate and still get millions of people to line up for it. And the more you look at what's actually changed this year, the more you realize Apple hasn't reinvented the iPhone, it's just undone some of its own past mistakes. Let's start with the basics. This phone is selling better than last year's iPhone 16 Pro, and that's not nothing. It looks fresh with that new plateau-style camera bar, and crucially, it no longer overheats like the last couple of iPhones did. Apple ditched the titanium frame, which it once marketed as a premium leap forward, and went back to aerospace-grade aluminum, a material it used to save for the non-Pro models. That switch helps the phone stay cooler under heavy use. And Apple has finally embraced vapor chamber cooling, something Android phones have had for years. These changes fix some annoying problems from previous generations. So yes, the iPhone 17 Pro is objectively a more stable phone. Battery life is better too, although the trade-off is a slightly heavier build. Still, most people would rather carry a few extra grams than deal with overheating and frequent charging. But here's where things get weird. The new aluminum body might keep the phone cool, but it's also much softer than titanium. That means scratches, lots of them. Users are already noticing that the raised plateau around the camera picks up marks far too easily. Even MagSafe chargers are leaving visible rings on the back. Apple says that's just normal wear and tear, but let's be honest. When you're spending over $1,000 on a phone, you don't want it looking like it's been through a bar fight after a few weeks. The good news is that these scratches don't affect durability. Bend and drop tests show the iPhone 17 Pro is structurally solid. But it's still strange that Apple would overlook such a visible flaw, especially when they're positioning this device as the premium Pro option. And then there's the elephant in the room, AI. 2025 is the year where smartphones are split into two camps, pre-AI and post-AI. On one side, you have devices like the Pixel 10 that are packed with generative features and on-device intelligence that genuinely change how you use your phone. On the other, there's the iPhone 17 Pro, which isn't quite there yet. Apple talks a big game about Apple intelligence, but this phone doesn't do anything significantly new in that department. Most of the AI features it ships with are recycled from the previous generation, and they still don't feel as ambitious as what Google or Samsung are doing. The A19 Pro chip is technically capable. It even has new neural accelerators designed to boost AI performance, but the software just isn't taking advantage of it yet. Now, Apple says that new AI features will arrive in a future update, possibly by March. But if we've learned anything over the last year, it's that Apple's promises should be taken with a grain of salt. Until those updates actually land, the iPhone 17 Pro remains a pre-AI phone in a post-AI world. So why is it still flying off shelves? That's the million-dollar question. Part of it might be that even Google, with all their AI horsepower, hasn't convinced people that these new features truly change everyday smartphone use. The other part is likely design fatigue. iPhone users have been desperate for something that looks new, and the iPhone 17 Pro at least delivers that, even if the changes are mostly skin deep. And it's also worth remembering that Apple is a master of managing expectations. They know how to package small changes as major leaps and convince people that they need them. Switching from titanium back to aluminum isn't exactly groundbreaking, but frame it as aerospace-grade aluminum for better heat dissipation, and suddenly it sounds like progress. Add in a slightly different camera design and a new seasonal color, and people feel like they're buying into the future, even if the future hasn't quite arrived. And that's the story of the iPhone 17 Pro, a phone that's less about innovation and more about correction. It fixes the overheating problem, improves battery life, and offers a new design. But it also scratches more easily, adds a bit of weight, and lags behind on the AI front. It's not the smartest or most durable flagship of 2025. In fact, it's arguably one of the least exciting. Yet, here we are, with Apple pulling itself out of a sales slump and once again proving that it doesn't need to lead in every category to dominate the market. Maybe that says more about the state of the smartphone industry than the phone itself. After all, if the bar for best-selling flagship is this low, then Apple doesn't have to work that hard to clear it. The iPhone 17 Pro isn't a revolutionary device. It's a carefully packaged mix of old ideas, small fixes, and future promises. And apparently that's enough to keep millions of people hitting buy. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.